Well, this is awkward. Um, let's go for something kind of big about my gaming stuff. And yeah, it's worrying. And the big thing is I've been playing games with the wrong settings the whole time. You might be thinking, like, how? You have a Ryzen 5000X RTX 3070, 32 GB of RAM and an SSD. How do I get settings wrong? Especially when this system can run it. Turns out there's a setting called borderless window. I've been using it since the start of time, probably. Like, it's when I started multitasking, so about 2013, roughly. And it turns out this setting was just affecting my gameplay so negatively that, yeah, it basically fucked up with the frame rate and didn't even display the right frame rate at that. So it's just confusing, really, the fact that that happens. It's been like this for 10 years, and it seems to me that I have so much more potential in games now. Just sort of be better, I guess. But also, it's like learning something new as well, because I've played at stable frame rates before. So that's the shocking thing about it, really. So I just want to let people know that this setting is fucking cunt. There's no other word for it. I can't even be polite about it. It's important to know because I didn't even realise this was causing so many of the performance issues that I've had in games. And I also think, in a sense, that developers could do better and either warn players that it's going to happen or fix it at least. Because I didn't really notice it until I looked it up. Because I was wondering, as I was playing Scout in TF2, as I'm trying to learn now, how the hell do you even get better when there's lag? And you might think like you can compensate for lag, but you can't with borderless window anyway. Because borderless window it makes your game window a window pretty much, but with no borders. And it pretty much makes it so that every other application is running. And that means they're all awake at the same time. So I actually think if you close down everything, you can probably run borderless window reasonably well. But then you switch to full screen and you realise, holy crap, this is insane. And the performance is actually so much better, it's crazy. It's embarrassing to find out because I'm someone who has over 5,000 hours in TF2. I've only just discovered that. And this applies to other games as well. But now I go into the ranty part of it. Why even offer it? Like, I use it because I multitask and I go between different windows on my primary monitor. The point of that is that I can also keep a window size smaller with the thing I'm multitasking so I can see the game happening. So it's like two things at once. It's one of my weird traits of ADHD that for some reason isn't diagnosed. I don't know why. I can multitask and have senses occupied with different things. The confusing thing about that is that it just seems like an obvious problem. The fact that there's so much lag on the game and barely any on the thing that I'm multitasking with, it's just strange. I'll have gaming mode enabled, I think. That's the other thing. The other bit of the rant, I guess, is like, why does it even exist as a setting, and why isn't it sort of like warned about? Because you just need to know it. if you don't know that it does that, and you're thinking, oh, I'm smart, I'm gonna do like multitasking and stuff like that, then you board this window and it lags and your gameplay's affected. And that also impacts the gameplay experience. That's the other thing. People, there's that meme about blaming lag, and it's usually the player, but that's not actually wrong. The games are at fault for that fucking lag. There's obviously netcode issues with certain games, especially TF2 now. The main point is that it just shouldn't exist. If it's going to make everything lag, it should be a hidden saying at least. And I think if any game is going to be played as a game, it needs to be acknowledged that it's a big risk and it affects gameplay. Then you can't really say like your review is wrong for the game. So yeah, I'm just fed up of it really. Saying. But again, the caveat is like a big caveat because I like to multitask. It's how I live my life now. Can't do anything about it at this point. It's just ruining everything, this borderless window. Yeah, I want to multitask. Now this brings into another issue that I have. It's to do with how modern games are able to do well in full screen, because there's like a transition. TF2 there isn't, luckily. And neither is there in D-Rock Galactic. I don't know if I actually full screened it. Let's check that. But I want to switch between these sort of heavy games without lag and be able to multitask. That's the entire point. Because I think if a game lags when it's switching windows, then it's not a very well optimized game. Simple as that. That needs to change. And I just guess I'm really disappointed with like video card manufacturers who, for some reason, are not optimizing this. It makes sense for like small games, like mobile games and stuff, but I don't know why the setting isn't optimized, or even why it can't be. I'm just frustrated as well because I've been playing games for so long with it. It frustrates me that I could have had better experiences everywhere across the board. So yeah, I think that's all I have to talk about. Could be wrong, but yeah, there's also like the red herring as well. Like, if your performance is bad, you wouldn't necessarily know that it's the fucking borderless gaming. That's one of the big problems, and I remember in my World of Warcraft days actually, when I was initially asking why on this exact computer, why I was getting lag. It turns out the borderless window was why, and I've refuted every point about it because, to be honest, the setting shouldn't exist anyway. If it's the thing that's going to cause the lag. So anyway, that pretty much sums up that, to be honest. I'm increasingly finding myself frustrated still because I don't know why it's happened. This shit didn't need to happen, really. It could have been fixed. I don't know why it's not. I've lost my place again. Um, in general, it's saying that needs addressing, and oh yeah, that's it. Wow, World of Warcraft. Yeah, like people were suggesting I turn that on, like go full screen. But the problem is like I multitask, and World of Warcraft is pretty much the perfect game to multitask in, because you have downtimes and you also have moments where, say you're flying or on a mount, you could just go off screen for a second until you reach a certain point. Like even with ground mounts, that used to be a thing. But I'm glad they patched that. But I'm not playing the game yet. Still got a long way to go. But I find it interesting anyway. So. Hopefully that was informative there. It's just more proof that the WoW community is just bad, and game manufacturers and game video card manufacturers, I mean, and video game developers just need to step up their game really and optimize. Because people justifiably put on Baldur's Window, I mean, for a reason. So they can have an optimal experience whilst doing other things they enjoy. Like, you should be focused on a game, like specifically when you're actually gaming. But like as I said with World of Warcraft, you're either travelling or you're waiting for something to happen, and that's where Baldur's Window comes in handy. You can just pull up a YouTube video or do what I do, where I have a YouTube video on the side. Just extreme multitasking. So yeah, I feel that's something. I feel I've taught you something. I've been PC gaming since about 2010, 2009. It's around the time Left 4 Dead 2 came out, I think. And when was that? Was that 2 release date? 2009, so yeah, 2009. Got it for PC in the, wasn't Orange Boss? No, the Orange Boss was what I got when I discovered TF2 spray in Left 4Dead 2. That's how I got into it. It's a funny story. So yeah, that's everything with that. I'll see you in another video. Subscribe if you feel like it. I don't know. I'll probably run with this sort of content. It's like shit to me.